As adults, we get used to a routine. The wonder we felt as kids, the jaw-dropping, heart-racing, eyes wide open kind of wonder can fade. But what if I told you it doesn't have to? At Universal Epic Universe in Orlando, Florida, the fantastical is alive and well. From video game lands and dragon-populated islands to gothic villages and wizarding streets, these are places you've only dreamed about. And you don't just escape to them, you portal. I'm Angie Orth, and in today's episode, we'll travel to all 5 immersive lands at Epic Universe. We'll hear from the creators who brought them to life and discover what tips they have to maximize your experience there. First up, let's portal into Super Nintendo World. Before you even press start, you'll feel it. Super Nintendo World isn't just a land, it's a level you live inside. Step into a vibrant, kinetic world where you're not just watching the action, you're part of it. Race through Bowser's castle. Explore Princess Peach's Mushroom Kingdom. So, grab your power-up band because Super Nintendo World is where the game gets real. This isn't a throwback to your childhood. It's next-gen immersion brought vividly to life. And for the first time in the US, join Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong on a wild minecart adventure through the jungle. The land may be packed with innovation and interactivity, but it was born from something deeply nostalgic.
So something I have to ask you, was Nintendo a big part of your life growing up?
Oh my God, wasn't it a part of everyone's life in some way or another? Yes, absolutely. I grew up in the 80s, born and raised in the 80s. And at first I got to watch my uncles and my dad play a lot of Nintendo because they bought it for us. And, once it gets home, everybody falls in love with it. So you got to wait your turn. Kind of a dream come true to meet the people behind all of that and have them work with you in creating this incredible Super Nintendo world that we have here.
So you got to bring this whole land to life. This is the only experience in Epic Universe that you can also kind of check out in other Universal parks. So what's new about it here in Orlando?
Well, for one, this is the first time that we're doing everything Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario Land, and Mario Kart Bowser Challenge all at the same time for Super Nintendo World. So we have a lot of additional developments, some of them peppered throughout, some of them real great Easter eggs that we want people to understand and just amplifying the guest experience overall. A big part of it and a big part of what we've done here and that Nintendo always emphasizes discovery. So of course we have these fantastic elements that if you get a power-up band, you can find and search through barrels and crates and all these things that tie back into the app if you should choose in that sort of gameplay way. There are hidden characters that you can find throughout the spaces. There's a lot of elements that are really kind of presented in front of guests, but they don't know unless they understand the deep lore just the weight that they have.
Tell us about the Donkey Kong ride, because you can't do that anywhere else in the US, right?
Absolutely. This is the first time that we're bringing this to the US. We were developing this in tandem when we were developing it in Japan, so just a little bit apart from each other in time. But for it to be this entire cohesive experience really kind of punctuates that note. The Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, what it does is you're joining Donkey and Diddy on this adventure to really preserve the Golden Temple. Tiki Tak tribe has come, and Tiki Tong, who's the leader of this Tiki Tak tribe, wants to steal a golden banana, which has been here for thousands of years. They tell the story while you're going through the queue, but what you're doing is you're joining them on this minecart, and you're out there trying to shoo them out of the Golden Temple, essentially, and save the day.
After hurtling through ancient ruins with Donkey and Diddy, dodging barrels and saving the golden banana from the Tiki Tak tribe, you might want to take home a little piece of the jungle.
What are some favorites that you're already seeing people just gravitate to?
That's a really good question. Everything Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is the king of our Super Nintendo world here. It's unique. It's the first time ever he's been introduced in one of our parks here in the US. We have everything from giant oversized barrels to banana fanny packs, everything in true Donkey Kong fashion.
From mushroom headbands to golden bananas, Super Nintendo World proves that no matter when you grew up, there's always joy in discovery. Next stop, a place where dragons fly, Vikings feast, and the spirit of adventure never grows old. Welcome to the Isle of Berk. This land is more than just a beautiful homage to How to Train Your Dragon. It's alive with fire-breathing excitement, deep film detail, and one show that's earning standing ovations.
I will tell you, it is a live entertainment experience like no other. It is Broadway caliber, huge cast. You will see dragons. You will see dragons flying. And you're going to meet some of our just beloved Vikings that we have here. Hiccup, Astrid, Gobber, some of our dragons like Toothless and Stormfly, maybe the Untrainable, maybe some baby Gronkles. We'll have to see.
So would you say this is like the must-see thing in Isle of Berk, or do you have like another secret favorite?
Well, Rough Nut and Tough Nut will tell you that they are the things that need to be seen here at the Isle of Berk, but it is a must-see. It is not to be missed here.
And you can't visit Berk without eating like a Viking. After watching dragons take flight, your stomach might be rumbling louder than a Gronkle. Luckily, Vikings don't snack small, and neither should you. Especially one particular item, with its scent of smoked meats and bubbling cheese. It's taken the internet and Berk by storm. Christopher Colon, executive sous chef of research and development at Universal Orlando, talks about the infamous mac and cheese cones.
The luxury of being a full-blown brand new menu is we have a little bit of everything. Outside of here is Hooligan's Grog and Gruel, which has been the viral mac and cheese cones. I'm sure you've seen them everywhere. That's one of those, when we created it, we knew we created amazing food, but we didn't realize at that time that we were going to create this monster juggernaut that's been, mac and cheese cones. So many people have been loving them. It's so exciting. Fresh baked bread, filling it to order, pulled pork, bacon, jam, all those delicious things and the best thing is we're making it to order. It's not that we're, putting things and holding them. They're literally getting made as you come up. So it's a delicious kind of touch.
But if there's one ride that truly lets you feel the wind in your helmet, it's Hiccup's Wing Gliders. This isn't just a coaster. It's flight training Viking style. You'll swoop, soar, and glide high above the cliffs of Berk with panoramic views of dragons, sea stacks, and maybe even a flaming sheep or two. It's part thrill ride, part story, and 100% unforgettable.
That was intense. More intense than I thought it was going to be in the Isle of Berk. I thought that was going to be like, it was a kid ride. It was intense. It was fast. It was spinny. Yeah. And it had a really good story to it.
So grab your fish, greet a Gronkle, and maybe, just maybe, train a dragon. And now the AAA Travel Minute. Nobody can predict flight delays, but with a little planning, you can prevent them from derailing your vacation. For instance, if you book a direct flight, there's no connection to miss. Many travelers find that having peace of mind is worth spending a little extra money. Some travelers will even leave from their second closest airport, if it means getting a direct flight. When that's not possible and you must connect, be sure to leave plenty of time between legs. And remember, airline search engines can return options with layovers as short as 45 minutes. Yikes! Being savvy about when you fly helps too. According to tracking site FlightAware, the first flight of the day is less likely to be canceled or delayed, and weekdays typically have more alternative flights available, should the worst occur. Of course, cancellations and delays are a fact of life, so always be prepared. A AAA travel advisor can help you plan and book your trip, and can help make changes if anything goes awry. After portaling out of the Isle of Berk, you arrive at the crossroads of it all. Celestial Park. This isn't just a hub. It's a realm where the stars come to life. Stroll through lush gardens, marvel at fountains that dance 135 feet into the sky, and discover portals that shimmer with possibility, each one ready to transport you to another world. But it's at night that Celestial Park truly becomes otherworldly. As the sky deepens, 7 million programmable LEDs light up the land, choreographing a mesmerizing show of color and light that turns every walkway into a portal of its own. This is the beating heart of Epic Universe, where every journey begins and every return feels like coming home to the stars. Now we descend into darkness, where fog creeps, thunder cracks, and Universal's most iconic monsters are resurrected. Not as relics of the past, but as living legends with stories still unfolding. This is Dark Universe, a land filled with eerie beauty, storytelling genius, and even a chance to become a monster yourself.
At Dark Universe, we have Darkmoor Monster Makeup Experience. You can choose from over 16 designs to either get a full makeover or a half makeover of the monsters. And so you yourself can transform into a monster. But it doesn't stop there. You can transform from head to toe, coming into Pretorius's Scientific Oddities with our cosplay attire. So you can have the headgear, the accessories, the apparel. You can complete your full monster transformation and really immerse yourself into the world.
So here's a question. You said there are 16 different options.
Yes.
What are some of those and what has been the most popular so far?
The top performing is the Wolfman and Frankenstein. A lot of people are really getting into those inner monster.
Monster makeovers are just the beginning, because in the Dark Universe, you're not stepping into a costume, you're stepping into a story. To understand how this eerie, electric world came to life, we caught up with the creative force behind it all. Someone who didn't just design the land, he resurrected it.
Tell us about the background, the history, why you guys decided to do Dark Universe in Epic.
Back up and just say Epic Universe is full of great stories, but we've never done in-world land for the Universal monsters. So this was a great opportunity for us to say, hey, if we went back to the very beginnings of our studio and found those characters that really are central to our DNA, what could we do with them? And you can see the experiments going on pretty loudly right now behind us. It's honestly just an amazing experience to come and find a place where we can bring all those original stories together in one place.
Well, and as brand new as this land is, it really is the most classic of all of them, right?
It certainly does have a 100-year history. I think that for us, it was really important to develop something that classic monster fans like myself could come and experience and love, but at the same time, it would feel fresh and new and not be a museum, right? Because the whole notion of it being alive means that it has to go forward. It has to move forward into the future. And so that's why a lot of our stories are kind of reboots of the classic monster movies.
Well, and so that's where Victoria comes in. What's her backstory?
Dr. Victoria Frankenstein has come back to Darkmoor, where Henry Frankenstein did his original experiment, and she's here to reform the family name. You can imagine being a Frankenstein. It's like been a shadow over her whole life. She's got a pretty big chip on her shoulder, and she wants the world to realize that she's brilliant. Unfortunately, she shares the same sort of ego issues and short-sightedness that Henry had. Things don't go quite according to plan, but she also knows she's a very modern person, and she knows that unless she invites the world in to see her genius, that it doesn't count, right? She had to get social. And so that's why you were there.
I heard you saying that you mostly stayed in Dark Universe while you guys were working on the park and you didn't go to the other worlds because you wanted to experience it sort of for the first time. Do you have a tip for somebody coming the first time, whether it's for Dark Universe or any of the other worlds?
Honestly, if you decide that all that matters is I need to get on the ride and get out, and I need to get on the ride and get out, you're missing 80% of the show, right? If you really walk around Dark Universe or any of the lands in Universal's Epic Universe, you will see detail on detail on detail. You experience so much richness and heart.
Is there an Easter egg we should look for in Dark Universe that you're particularly proud of?
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say, and I'm just going to point to it because it's right here. If you look up the word monster treffen on Google Translate, you'll see that that means monster meeting. Okay. And so that is the place where you go to meet the Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. If you look at the piece of art on the sign, it shows the Frankenstein monster meeting a little girl with flowers, but her father is gesturing to say, go ahead and meet him. It's not going to have the same tragic ending that it had in the original story. It's going to be a new ending that actually makes you fall in love with the monster as your friend.
And you actually get to make new memories with your family where the monster doesn't kill you or kidnap you or whatever.
Isn't that nice?
Dark Universe is proof that even fear can feel magical, especially when you face it with friends or family by your side. And there's so much more waiting in the shadows, like garlic bites that ward off more than just hunger, chilling themed beverages, and attractions that take you deep into gothic catacombs and electrifying experiments gone wrong. Because here in Dark Universe, the monsters aren't just part of the story, they make you a part of it. And now to the place where the bricks shift, the air crackles, and suddenly, you're not in Orlando anymore. You're in Paris. Inside the Ministry of Magic, here, spells aren't spoken. They're lived. A place where wand meets wonder, where enchanted windows whisper secrets, and where every corridor holds a story waiting to be discovered. And if you grew up dreaming of butterbeer, now's your moment. Frozen in one hand, butterbeer crepe in the other. Childhood wish officially granted. Grab your wand. We're about to step into magic. With the debut of the Ministry of Magic at Epic Universe, I may have to see if Gary Blumenstein, Senior Director of Creative Direction, is looking for a sidekick.
What did you have to do with the Ministry of Magic?
Ministry of Magic, my first job was developing what this attraction, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry, became. So this was an amazing few years of my life.
You plus a few others.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So when people come here for the first time, do you have a tip for the Ministry, for Paris, for this land?
Once you're beyond the shock and awe of the amazing scope of everything, look at the details. There is an amazing amount of detail, even down to like the egg and dart detail in the restrooms. So it's like you'll see characters brought to life that were mentioned in the books but were never in the films. So it's just look around, take it all in.
Are there a lot of things in the windows we need to keep an eye out for?
Absolutely. First off, with our second generation wands, you can do a lot more magic, and that magic involves a lot of wonderful, fantastic beasts in all of the windows. So,
What went into those wands, and why make a second generation one?
magic.
Okay, perfect.
No, seriously, we're always looking to improve our guest experiences, and based upon guest feedback, we wanted to improve that experience. And we did, not just at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, but also at our other park.
Okay, so you can use the second generation wands anywhere in the Wizarding World.
Yes.
So, what has Harry Potter meant to you throughout your life? Did you read the books when you were younger? Is it like a family thing? Tell me about Harry Potter in your life.
I wish I could lie to you and say I read it when I was a kid, but I did not. No, it was an assigned job for me at Universal, and when I read the first book, it was the fourth book. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Not starting out as a Harry Potter fan and then having the opportunity to be at the ground floor of what this became and the phenomenon that it has become, especially in the theme park world. It's beyond the films, beyond the books, it's all adaptation. But we really are setting the bar for ourselves, but also for the industry. And so to be a part of that and the stories and what they mean, it's just great to be a part of all that. So,
Just when you think the magic can't get any more real, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry is the park's most spellbinding creation yet. Utilizing first-of-its-kind ride technology, guests are transported through the Wizarding World in omnidirectional lifts that move seamlessly in every direction, with a few of your favorite characters making an appearance. This attraction isn't just a testament to the magic of storytelling, it's a showcase of the most advanced ride technology ever developed by Universal.
telling these stories, especially stories involving such great magic, you really have to rely on all of the tricks of the trade that you've developed, and that you have to develop new tricks in order to pull these stories off. I think the ride system for a Battle at the Ministry is probably a big one in that how do you put people in the omnidirectional lifts in the Ministry of Magic and have them feel like they've actually been on that journey? That was a major part of just telling the story. So achieving that, it's just a sense of pride for everybody, I think.
And that's the magic of Epic Universe. Whether you're casting spells in the Ministry of Magic, flying with dragons in Berk, braving the shadows of Dark Universe, or chasing bananas in Super Nintendo World, This park isn't just for kids. It's for anyone who's ever needed a reminder of what it feels like to be amazed.
I would say it's really more about how I feel when I walk into each world. In Dark Universe, it's really becoming your inner monster. When you go into Nintendo, you're in the game, and you are right there in the game the whole time you're in that world. Berk and How to Train Your Dragon is just amazing in itself, with the elements and the detail that they've really brought to life with the dragons and the houses and the tails moving. And that's just, I think that's just really catches me every time I go into that world. And then Potter, I mean, to walk into Paris when you're in Orlando, Florida, who doesn't want to do that?
Because if we're not careful, wonder can disappear into routine. The magic gets buried beneath deadlines, grocery lists, and traffic jams. But here you're invited to portal back to possibility, to step into magic and celebrate every little bit of it. Join us next week when travel journalist and theme park expert Jacqueline Dole joins us to share her advice for how to plan your perfect trip to Epic Universe. Thank you for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.